Welcome everyone. This is our live stream. Just gonna kind of go over flow, look at charts, whatever. Just it's been a little slower day here. So flow's been kind of multi-leggy here, so we're just gonna kind of wait for some flow to come in and see if we got anything actionable. Just a lot of multi-leg stuff today here, but we'll see what we get. And if anybody has any charting requests or flow requests, feel free to drop them in the chat. CGC, welcome. Andrea's first timer in the chat here. If you want to chat, obviously, if you don't know, you just kind of come up here, and if you're in the stream, it's this little show chat thing. You can just chat. The chat has a separate chat. Andrea, since I know you're not in here a lot, CGC's already got it down. I got the windows open. It's nice 71 degrees here. Gonna go hop out in the yard after this, and yeah, if you either of you have any flow or charts you want me to pull up, I will chart anything out, pull out any flow. I'm just gonna throw an invite in the stream here. Oh, I already did. You two have any good fun plans for the weekend? Well, I know Andrea's studying not studying for your test, probably practicing now, kind of the driving part. WS, welcome. WS, just want to let you know, Ed and Esky, welcome to both of you. If you got any charting or flow requests, you can just kind of pop up here in the little chat. Oops. And there's a little extra side chat here. Feel free to drop any flow or charting requests if you have anything. I'm just going to kind of keep my eye out for any flow. It's been kind of quiet today. We'll keep an eye on the tide and anything else that you might have questions at. Just feel free to yell. And it's recorded, so don't feel the need to stay for the entire thing. I'm going to probably go until market close. So feel free to just hang out, pop in, pop out, whatever you want. But we're just going to kind of hang out, wait for some flow to hopefully come in. And yeah, feel free to ask questions about unusual whales, ask trading questions, whatever you want. Try to make this informative for everybody. But we can, while we wait, we can kind of look at the flow that came in this week. So this will be in the flow recap video later, but pretty good week. I mean, not a lot of flow, but a lot of good flow. So kind of coming back here and looking, we'll kind of just work our way up. So the 10th, this whale actually sold for a loss, which is kind of, actually, I believe they did. Let's see. No, they didn't. Interesting. So that was our whale. So 10th on Monday, those DraftKings puts ran 45 for an intraday move up to, let's see, what do I got here? So the 10th, I haven't updated my full spreadsheet here. So the 10th, so 45, they actually hit 64 intraday. Seen some, oh, actually, and if we get something to come in, okay, so we got some MSTR calls come in. So let's take a peek. So earnings, 52 days, we don't overlap earnings. Okay, clean opening trade, let's take a peek. So here's our flow today, okay. Net call premiums kind of dropped a little bit. Let's take a peek though. IV's not really changing. We're seeing ask side here. Probably would lean buys on these, but trying to 375. I mean, that's kind of far out of the money. Let's see. We get rid of my Patriots news. Yeah. I'm just not a big fan of swinging something this far over. See, this is kind of where I stop at the flow, because I'm like, I like to see that IV increasing. We're not really increasing, but we're coming in at the ask. Now, if the net call premiums were spiked here, that would kind of help me validate it a little bit more, but we're still sitting bid side for call and put premiums, and that put volume's kind of picking up. So that's kind of why I'm passing on this one. There just hasn't been a lot of good flow today. We'll go back and look at this flow. So that DraftKings, nice little intraday move. So from the 10th, see that most of that kind of carrying over. Then we had another 2100 here on the 12th. So it looks like somebody passed those contracts off to somebody else at 11 cents a contract because we didn't have a change in that open interest. So to me, it looks like that whale originally probably got a little greedy there, swung and then sold for a loss, sold to somebody else for a loss. MSTR, so we had puts on these. No. These, again, making a nice intraday move. Again, another whale that got greedy. So that 1231 was our entry. They actually came up and hit a high here on the 11th of 1910. Oh, we hit 20 same day there. So you can kind of see that 20. That spreads a little wider there, but you can see that high of 20 the same day. But even the next day, if you swung, should have been up nicely. But all this red stuff here looks like that whale cutting here for at 971, and then maybe some more here at 748. So that's kind of why I tell everybody, don't just follow the whales. You got to have a plan when you're following these whales. Your own risk management, all that stuff. Starbucks, these things still nice little move on those, cleaner move on that 155. They hit 540 yesterday. Looks like they're still hit a 490 today. But that whale, this is kind of a good view here. Looks like just some slow sizing out here at the bid. These actually really made kind of a quicker intraday move. I kind of want to zoom in here. WSCSX. Yeah, is there a specific contract that you saw maybe that you want me to pull up? And welcome, of course. See, is it these the 620-30 calls? I'm going to assume it's probably these. So that's some good size there. I want to take a peek at these. Let's take a peek. So kind of right away, so I see some of that ask and bid side here. So we'll take a peek at it though for you. No multi-leg, so that's good. Big spike in that net call premium. Let's take a peek for you. So when it's that mid and bid side stuff, I kind of like really digesting that raw flow. So let's come back and take a peek. So when the flow starts to come in, so I'm paying attention to that IV and I'm paying attention to that spot. So a little wider bid ask here. So everything's coming in at the ask. So that's a good sign. So IV pop. So right here, this is kind of, now if this was like only like 2 or 3 contracts, but this is kind of a bigger chunk of contracts here, but we're still very close to the ask. Little drop in that IV, but we pop back up here. I kind of want to see what else, how the full flow tape looks. So now you can see that IV starting to decrease here. So I don't like seeing that, and that IV staying down here. And that IV is continuing to drop and drop here. So small pop here as that size came in, but that IV dropping there, I don't like how it drops like that. The flow could make a run, but I'm looking kind of, I'd like to see that IV increasing there, if that kind of makes sense. But yeah, good example there, good example. And that IV might have been spiked a little bit too, because I mean, we're up almost 3% on the day. How are we doing right now too? Still near the high of the day. Ooh, Foreman, is that a nice little head and shoulders? I'm waiting for simulation to get in here. Welcome, Vincent. Welcome. Yeah, nice little head and shoulders here forming on the 5-minute. See what happens there. Yeah, you can see that head and shoulders here on the 1 minute. Let's go back. Yeah, so that CSX flow, I just don't like how that IV was kind of decreasing there at the end. But very good example. Very good example to take a peek at. Yeah, feel free if there's any other flow you want me to pull out. I have no issue checking it out because it's pretty slow here. Let's look at these TKO 150 calls that came in. So next week, so 321, 150, we're trading at 140. Good size and premium. So this one's interesting to me. So that net put premium's up, but let's look at the flow here. I want to look at both. Okay, so these got canceled. So this is one thing I tell people to watch out for. For some reason, floor trades tend to get modified more. I don't know why. but like these are all canceled and modified there. So this initial entry here is not actually there. So there's only 8,000 contracts traded on this, and it's another floor trade. So I'm knowing that that other one was modified. If we come back and look at this probably 10 or 15 minutes, I bet you that one's going to be modified too. So we will take a peek at that in a while, but I'm going to say no on that one just with that flow kind of being canceled the first time there. But let's see what else we got here. Let's go back and kind of look at what else we got. NVIDIA, got it. Thank you. Because I'd rather not do the flow recap on the live since I'm going to do that. Let's see. Martian, welcome. Let me pop in. And Zigford, welcome. Zigford's enjoying the same weather as me today. Let's look up that NVIDIA for CGC here. 1 second. Let's see. Gordo, welcome. Sorry, I was trying to read a text as everybody's popping in. Let's see here. So NVIDIA, we've got the 411-136 call. 411-136. Let's take a peek here. So, okay, this looks good. Good, clean opening trade. So not a high percent of multi-leg, so good there. Let's take a peek at the flow. So good piece of flow here, CGC. Can see it's at the ask, spots coming in at the ask. So now when it comes in as a block trade like this is why I like to see that other flow around it as well. Because if this is just a singular block trade, you can't read that flow around it. So right as that flow comes in, can see that IV spike. We're at the ask. This flow looks good to me. Good find there, CGC. I just got to read this text here quick. 1 second. All right. Yeah, good piece of flow there. Let's see, something just come in there. So NVIDIA, so multi-leg put, I'm probably going to ignore that. Obviously, I'm not a big spread trader. I like to avoid multi-leg flow. It's kind of more noise than anything. Let's see. Yeah, and if anybody has any flow they want me to take a peek at, because it's kind of slow right now. Not a ton coming in. I mean, get ready for Fridays in the summer. This is usually how Fridays are in the summer. Seems like a lot of people take the day off, but usually makes it a little calmer. Let's see. Yeah, Zigford, I kind of, I like seeing kind of just everything coming in just to kind of get an idea of maybe like something huge coming in, like a couple, I think it was earlier this week, like that huge massive Tesla flow that came in, the big huge multi-legger that was massively would be confusing. So to me that's telling me like if I see another piece of Tesla flow come in, I know there's a big chunk of multi-leg flow somewhere, so something could be up with Tesla that way. So that's kind of why I leave it on. I will look up Jern here if that makes some sense there. Let's see, so Jern. And I know this thing's a penny stock. Let's see. So 116.2. 116.2 call. All right, let's go back because I know this came in a little bit ago. So back to the third. Yep. Yep, I will pop that back there. JT, late to the party, but that's okay. Let's see, so 53 was that original entry. It looks like they're still in there. Hit 70 there for a high. Wow. Chopping down a little bit now, though. Yeah, something like that. I mean, this could maybe be, and I know I believe, something to do with, let me pull it up again. I think it was bioengineering. Don't quote me. I got to take a peek here. Let's see. Oh, biopharmaceutical. I knew it was something. I knew it was something kind of relatively to that. Yeah. Um, yeah, something like this. I mean, anything bio's kind of gonna be a little more. I want to say risky because you got. I mean, somebody could know of something coming out. They could be producing something. We never know. I mean, especially on a $2 call. I mean, that's a very slow mover. I mean, you really got to be kind of patient on something like that. On like anything below $5, I almost like taking shares on something like that, just because I mean, you need a pretty, I mean, not a big move, but like a dollar move on this stock is a 50% move. So keep that in mind. That's kind of why I will pass on something that small. But you could take something like this with a share trade. And we've got a party going on in here. So just gonna, I like to save some stuff just to show everybody that the group's actually fun. Yeah, so there's a bunch of new people in here too, so I just want to show everybody new, just so you know. If you want to drop any questions for Flo or anything, there's just a show chat up here. You can just chat in here on the side. If you got any Flow or charts you want me to pull up, just feel free to drop them in. But yeah, CGC, it's I wouldn't consider it a gamble. Somebody, I mean, 300 days out, they're obviously a long-term player. Let's look at the chart here. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of looking at. I'm gonna pop it to the weekly actually here. I'm just kind of taking a peek here. So I mean, you're pretty much at your lows here. That thing's down from $4. Yeah. See, I mean, that's such a, and that's the thing here too. I mean, you see, it's a 3-cent move on the day. That's a 2% move on the stock. So that's why I kind of don't like trading options on it either. Just because you need that. I mean, a big move, like there's your cent move, and I mean, you just get these little moves there like that, and that percent changes. So I mean, you see a lot of movement on the options contracts that way too. So that's kind of why I like shares on that. But actually, I want to pop this out to the month and take a peek. I mean, you're pretty much sitting at your all-time lows. So to me, they're probably looking for maybe a small little relief bounce. You'd probably put your resistance here at like 248. But with just saying that out loud, that's over a 50% move on the stock. Or a little under a 50% move, probably like 43 or so. But let's take a peek what's coming in on the flow here. Yeah, maybe a buyout, or who knows. It could be an insider that has insider knowledge that the company, who knows, company cures cancer or something. You never know what happens with that stuff. Obviously, that's not me saying anything, but you never know what somebody knows, especially that far out. And they had 10,000 contracts at 537,000. That's pretty big premium. And at the time, let's see. Yeah, like that was 80% of the total premium there on that stock for the day. So I mean, you can see there's not a lot of premium traded here. And come and look at it like this. I mean, I'm just taking a peek here at the premiums here. Okay, this is just going to be for today. I need to go to... Should have just went to my overview. Let's see. So yeah, let's see. I just want to kind of go back 30 days to take a peek. I mean, you can see there's barely any call premiums or put premiums on here. Then you have the one massive spike here in that net call premium. So that's your day where that flow came in. So that's interesting to me too. That's what you'd consider unusual. You kind of look at the highest volume contracts. We'll look at open interest. I'm just taking a peek here. I mean, it's all calls on the open interest. And you're not going to see a lot of volume. So, I mean, that 3, let's see, what did they trade today? So, had 2, 4, almost 600 contracts traded on that today. So that's interesting to me. And they're all that 308 days out. So that is kind of unusual to me there. That is pretty unusual. Where did we have that come in? Let's look at these VSTs because these are a week out. And then we'll look at these VNets. I want to pop back to Jern after too. So let's take a peek at these. So up 4.5% on the day. So to me, this almost looks like they could be selling at the ask. Just quick glance here. Why am I thinking that? Obviously, your net call premiums are dropped. Ask side put premiums still bid side, but kind of getting towards that ask side. We're up 4.5% on the day. This is a 141 call. You're 14% out of the money. We're trading at 123. We have IV crush over the weekend. Let's take a peek at the flow. Let's take a peek. And I could be wrong, and this is just kind of an educated guess looking at it. Let's see. So, okay, IV pops when that comes in, so that would read as a buy to me right away. That little wider bid ask here. And they could be looking for a play into the end of the day. You never know. That's why I say you just got to be cautious. 70.54, we're going up, being filled at the ask here, above the ask here, so that's even more aggressive. So a little drop there, but we're being filled at the ask. Yeah, I mean, they could be looking for a move intraday here, but I wouldn't want to swing something that far out of the money over the weekend, because if you look here, so these are the VST 141s. VST 141s. What's going on here? Oh, not the month. Let's see, 141 for next week. So if you swing these over the weekend, and I gotta pop this up so I can even see it. If you don't get a move on these in the weekend, and we just stay right here, you're losing 28 cents on that contract. So you're going to lose about 50% of that contract over the weekend. So to me, that's kind of, once you get to Fridays, that short-term weekly flow, you have to be pretty spot on for that if you know it's gonna, if you want it to run or not. But this is interesting to me because it's a little wider bid ask here. Could be looking for a run into close. And let's look at these VNTs that came in too. So again, another one that expires next week. Up 11% on the day. We're 12% out of the money. But now this one, you have your net call premium spiked and your put premiums down. Let's look at the flow here. So 117, yeah, that IV comes up. I mean, they could be looking for a run into close. We don't know. But this one's also interesting here because you're not coming in right at the ask. I'd like to see these in at the ask, but could be looking for a play on the day. I mean, you're up 11%. Could be thinking we run power hour. But yeah, two decent examples there. We got another one here, Carvana, the 321 190 calls. Not coming in right at the ask. This is almost more of a mid-fill here. Got some volume on it. Let's take a peek. So net call premiums, we got call volume up. Again, another one that's 6% up. 7% out of the money. So yeah, IV increases when that comes in. You're just not seeing that right at the ask. I mean, you're pretty close to a mid-fill here. So this one I'd consider kind of a no on that one. But let's go back and look at Jern here until we have something else that comes in. Oh, we will look at the FCX. 1 second here. Let's look at the FCXs. 1 second. Let me pull up my FCX. And you are looking at the 516.45 call. 516.45 call. Alright, so let's take a peek. So there's a lot of volume on this one already. No multi-leg. What do we got today? 51,000. Actually, sorry, I want to just get some bearings here. Where did all that volume come from? Let's see. So on the 7th and the 30th. Actually, let's see. I want to see where that big 10,000 came in. So 5. So we started coming in about mid-December here. All right, let's pop this back 90 days. So, okay, 5. So this is definitely an opening trade here. Let's look at the flow here. So let's see, I'm coming back to the bottom here. Let's take a peek. So I'm watching that IV, watching that bid ask. Let's see, so spots increasing, good sign there. IV's increasing. IV's increasing, spots increasing. Let's see. So IV, then we got some more here, a little break here. So this is kind of why I say not everything bid side to sell, because we have that IV. Well, okay, that IV dropped a little bit there. Ignore me there. Spots dropping a little bit there now. IV pops again there. So this is the big spot here that I'm keeping my eye on. IV really pops there, and you're coming in right at the ask, so that looks good to me. So this is that one that I would keep my eye on there. So that does look like a buy there to me. So, yeah, and I mean, there's obviously, it looks like a whale's been building a position for a while in here, so that is interesting to me there. And he's getting filled at 94. Let's see, we're 96, 94. They're break even right now. So, yeah, good find there, WS. I would look at those as buys, 45, and we are trading at 38. So yeah, not too bad. Yeah, that's a good find with time on them too. That's the one thing about buying time on them. You avoid a big chunk of theta decay. And no multi-leg too, so yeah, that's good. Then good premium on that too. Really good premium on that. But let's go back and look at the Jern one now. So yeah, back to CGC. Yeah, big spike in that net call premium, so really interesting there. I want to take a peek at the gamma. That daily gamma. I mean, that daily gamma is just building here. So yeah, something's up here for sure. Something's definitely up there for sure. I mean, all your net gamma's on the call side here. All your net gamma by expirations on the call side here. I mean, your data's pointing everything out there. We'll look at dark pool for the fun of it. Let's look at some dark pool trades on this. Oops. And it's not going to show me anything because nobody ever trades dark pool on it. Okay, we'll ignore the dark pool, ignore that. Let's go back and look back at the overview. I want to look at the options volume. Let's take a peek. So your bull and bearish volume over the last, we'll do 30 days. So I mean, you can see it's mostly bullish premium coming in here, or no, yep, okay, I got the right one, yep. So yeah, mostly bullish here, and this I believe was your big whale, yep. And I mean, you can see when that flow came in, spike in that IV, small drop there in that IV, or kind of a bigger drop in that IV, but a little wider spread. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one to me there. Then we got some at the 2. Well, these are coming in at, nope, same time. Yeah, interesting there. That I want to go back to that gamma, that JEX there, because that's really interesting with that buildup of that JEX. Yeah, so when you think of ascending fill, what one were we just looking at that had the ascending fill? This one. So when you say ascending fill, so when you're thinking about ascending fill, you're pretty much, they're looking at aggression essentially. So just because something's an ascending fill doesn't mean it's a buy though. So ascending fill just means that spot is increasing as that as the contracts come in. So if I buy contracts like this here at 82 and I keep bumping up that ask price, that's essentially showing aggression there. So that's kind of where that ascending fill comes in, and that's why people kind of will say it's a buy just because, oh, that fill's ascending, you're seeing aggression there. And that's why when you see it on like the bid side of things and you see that spot descending, so it'd be a repeat, it's descending fill, they kind of think that's a buy, but that's not always 100% true. So that's just kind of some data points that you got to combine with this. I mean, just because somebody's ask side something doesn't mean it's a buy for sure. You just got to kind of dig in, kind of use some market knowledge and all that fun stuff there, just to kind of, it's combining data points essentially. All right, what did we have? We had some ETF. Oh, some QQQ puts. Let's take a peek at these. So, clean opening trade. Let's take a peek. So, okay, I like to look. So, ETFs are a little different. So, you have the actual QQQ net premiums and then the holdings net premiums. So, QQQ net premiums, you're just seeing, obviously, this is all the premiums just strictly on QQQ. So, this is calls and puts on QQQ only. Now, holdings, obviously, this is what drives QQQ up and down. So, Microsoft, Tesla, anything tech related, premiums will be in here. So, right now, we're seeing ask side net call premiums, and those net put premiums are tailing off here. So, now let's look at the flow here because we can see clean opening trade, just based on size, no multi-leg, 3.7 million. I just want to see what that bid side looks like there. So as that flow pops in here, IV pops, they're coming in as sweeps. Coming in at the ask. Just keeping an eye on that IV, so that bid 30 contracts, that IV doesn't drop. Let's see, 2390. And then some little bid side stuff after here. Can't 100% say it's the same whale, but I mean, just kind of looking at the time, using an educated guess here, 2 seconds off that, and that IV increases. Probably part of the same trade. Then you kind of got that IV increasing up there again at the end. These look like buys to me. I'm going to pop these in the chat here quick. Oh, and then we got some more of that came in here, so let's take a peek at this second candle. I want to take that back, come back here. So we were IV coming up 23.90, so okay, yep. I would probably consider these a buy here, and there's just more coming in here. Okay, let me pop these into the chat quick. Let me pop these in. Get rid of that. Just gonna head over to Discord quick here. 1 second. Let's see. My ETF. So that looks interesting to me. I mean, that's good premium, and it's it's very close to at the money. I know we have triple witching next week and FOMC, so we'll probably see some more volatility. All right, there we go. There's one there. I'm going to exit out of that. Yeah, I mean, like to me, when you see this kind of coming in, small little drop there, but this is more than likely, I'm going to say a buy. I have to see what happens there. Let me pop in the tide here too, because it's 2:03 already. Didn't even realize that. Time flies when you're on stream. So let's take a peek at Tide 2. I gotta pop back over here too. So Tide, so all premiums right now still pretty bullish. Net put premium still, bid side call volume still there. Out of the money, kind of getting to that bid side though for calls now after a recent spike there. Net put premium still down, but that call volume still up. Alright, Let's do this. Come back down here into market tide. And for anybody that missed the beginning of the live stream, I am recording it too, so I'll have that posted up here after too, if you want to come back and replay it. All right. All right, let's see. So then, okay, these are the Carvanas that we looked at already that were kind of a mid-fill. And bid side, I'm not a big fan of always posting bid side play. There's a lot of people, and that's not saying there's just not a lot of people that sell premium. They're mostly kind of buying calls, asking or buying calls, buying puts. So if I see something big in here, I mean, like, that kind of really sticks out, I'll post it, but I'm not a huge fan of it, just because there's not a lot of people that really understand the premium selling part of things. All right, I heard some. Okay, so yes, I know you do simulation. I know you do. Hey, in simulation, I know this popped up before you came in. I want to take a peek. How's that Head and Shoulders looking on SPY right here, simulation? We were talking about this on that 5-minute. I'm like, there's your Head and Shoulders kind of forming right here. Nice little Head and Shoulders right here on the thing. Curious to see what happens with it. I still have some of my long calls though, so I'm like, But yeah, that end would assume it's on QQQ too. Yeah, got your Head and Shoulders here on QQQ, right as that QQQ put. Well, that's very close to the head there. So a really high shoulder on those. So interesting to see if that. Well, now here we go. So 630, 494 puts. Those are not huge premium. So with ETFs, I kind of like seeing a lot of premium. That's not a big size either, but we'll look at it just for the fun of it. So again, SPY, so you got a lot of net call premiums still. Call volume, put premiums down. Holdings kind of matches. This is probably just let's see. Yeah, your IV's not really. Yes, I can pull that up for you. 1 second. 2339. Yeah, I just don't like the smaller premium here. Let's look at the Guild. So 34 days. Okay, we got different ones. So I'll look at all three for you. So your first one, 348 here. So they're down. Net put premiums up. Net call premiums down. Let's see. IV increases all the way up. Looks good there. Small little, where is that? Little drop in the bid ask there. That spot's a little drop there, but still looks good there to me because you're pretty much right at the ask. That's flow 1 on the 331 275 put. Let's look at the 417 269. These look like they're making probably about break even 269, about 262. So net premium is not going to change, so I won't touch on that again. Let's see. So IV increases. It's a repeated hits ascending fill. So there's your 2.67 coming up to 2.69 and coming up a little bit more. That's probably just somebody tailing because it's not big size. That looks good on that one too, and that's the 417 269. And then the 417 271. So that's your. This one's more of a mid. So bullish on Guild at noon. What is the contract with the? So this is your largest one here, the 2.77. I'm gonna pull it up in contract and look up after this. So 315, 323. So 1546. I don't really see a change in that IV. Let me just pop this out. Double check here. So yeah, okay, so IV pops there. So your bid ask is the 315 there. I want to see where Well, it's telling me it's more of a mid. Let's see, 315. Where did it pop up to 325? That's my question. So it's bids here. So 320. That's weird that it's come. Oh, 315. So okay, it's about 60 contracts or so here coming in at the bid. Come back up. Bid. Yeah, this one, if it was by itself, I'd probably kind of pass on that. Actually, I got up a little bit too high there. I'm looking at this. So this is where it's coming in. So about 60 contracts there at the bid from the whale. Let me... Oh, wait, no, I want to do... Why am I blanking? GLD. I was like, it's not guild. Let's see what we got on the day today. So, yeah, I mean, your premiums on the day here. So this one's can't tell. Bid side calls on this one for 2.8 million. We can take a peek at those. Let's take a peek. So floor trade, can't really diagnose that one since it all came in. Oh, it's a multi-legger. Yeah. For the non-spread traders, this is my favorite tool. So, okay. Callback spread looks like. I don't trade spreads, so please don't ask me to explain anything spread related. Oh shit. Okay. Oh nope, it's right here. Okay. I was like, oh no. Okay. What else did we have? Let's see. So more bid side calls. So there's your ask side puts. With the highest premium, that's kind of your highest premium. That's directional, and then those bid side calls. So yeah, it looks like it's, and I just kind of want to pull up the chart here too. Actually, I'm going to pull up on TradingView. I don't know why I'm charting on Webull. I'm just so used to being on Webull all day, so that's why. And obviously gold's running at all-time highs, so it could be someone speculating maybe just a small little pullback in gold. How far were those out again? Let's see. 34 days. Okay. Well, I'm seeing, I mean, obviously all-time highs. I'm going to pop this out to the weekly. I just want to see if I can draw a little channel here. Let's see. Probably tighten it up a little bit here. It's not always the easiest to draw stuff here from at all-time highs, but I think we got our new channel right in here. So could be looking for a little pullback in there. Just kind of want to come back here and look. I mean, wow, what a little cup and handle there too. But yeah, you're obviously getting overextended here RSI wise, but a lot of volume on the week here. I want to pop this to the daily just to see if we can tighten it up. So you technically broke that channel top. Tighten this up a little bit. Yeah, and I mean, you're starting to get extended from those for the moving averages too, obviously. Just kind of looking at the RSI here. Just trying to see what I mean, you're pretty, I mean, you're usually seeing a pullback around this point. I mean, you're getting into the overbought territory. Maybe a little bit more, could maybe see a little more run, but I want to pop it to the 4 hour too, just to see. Things got some gaps, so gap to the downside here, so I could see that. Oh, good 4 hour selling volume here. Yeah, I mean, you got those gaps to the downside gap here at 263.31. So this is a trust. So this one is I'm to be 100% honest with you. I don't really follow the trust and how they invest and all that with the gold. I would assume they hold some sort of well, and yeah, I know they have the thing with like the Fort Knox stuff. Like we got to go to Fort Knox and see if the gold's there and stuff. So I mean, we got that too. Yeah, I don't know if they are specifically physical gold or what. I Metals are a whole different animal too. When you're investing, obviously you got to know like what they're holding, all that, and it's metals are a different animal. I carry like gold shares in my long term portfolio and stuff, but I don't obviously I'm not a big fan of, or well, I don't know exactly what one has like physical gold, paper gold, all that stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of looking at that 4 hour. I mean, you could even adjust that channel down here a little bit. If you wanted a discounted entry, pop that up here a little bit too. Yeah, because I mean, you're sitting right there on the 4 hour, and yeah, good volume here. But yeah, that little gap to the bottom, and then you got that flow to match it up. Physical, interesting. Yeah, interesting on that one. Yeah, I'm not a huge metals trader. I have just some long term shares, but I'm not super deep into metals. So I'm looking at this right away. This is definitely a hedge unless Tesla's gonna go bankrupt over the weekend. There's no way this is gonna. Definitely a hedge. Probably selling premium there. Let's see. So SPY. Oh, we had those 100. Oh, did we have more come in? Or is that? Nope, that's the same one. Yeah, and feel free if anybody has any other flow or any charts they want me to chart, all let me know. Just trying to see what we're doing here. Oh, we broke that neckline there. There we go. Gonna break that head and shoulders. Oh, why am I on? Okay, well, same thing pretty much. Oh, my long calls are gonna be happy. Pull it up here. Let's take a peek. Knew I should have went out a little bit longer, but hey, it's okay. Let's see. I heard a dang more multi-leg. Kind of clean this up here, just so not taking up the whole screen here. Clean this up. Yeah, no promises yet, but I might hop on. Got it. I will take a peek at that 55 put. I'm gonna probably tell you that's a hedge right now, but we'll take a peek at it for the fun of it. Might hop on tonight and chart out the hottest contracts. Just kind of depends. It's supposed to rain at some point here, but I got some yard work I got to do here at close. Let's see. Let's look up the Marvel. I'm gonna assume that's probably a hedge. It's 55. That's right here, a 5-255 put. 10,000 contracts. I think I saw these come in earlier actually. So 61, yeah, that IV kind of drops there when that big whale comes in. That's almost a mid-fill there too. That's funny. You get the opening trade there when you're just trading one contract. But yeah, that's probably a sell. Damn, Marvel gave up. I was thinking of MicroStrategy. I don't know why. Whenever I see MRV, I think of MSTR. It's must be dyslexic or something. But yeah, that IV drops anyways there, so probably not a fan of that. It's almost a mid-fill there too. I was thinking MicroStrategy dropped that far today. I want to take a peek at MicroStrategy anyways, or sorry, Strategy now. Yeah, see, that's why I was like, that's definitely a hedge there. Man, that kind of looks like a bull flag here. Let's take a peek at the... Yes, yeah, this might even... Just for the... I'm just charting this out, just taking a peek at the chart. I mean, you're coming in here. This is no flow either. I mean, that volume's dropping here on the sell-off. Looks like a good chance for an explosion up there. Good buying there, too. I want to see this on the daily. I mean, you can see on that sell-off that volume was declining. Not seeing a lot there. That weekly looked better than that daily, actually. Yeah, your declining volume, dropping there. Yeah, that chart kind of looks good there on MicroStrategy. I haven't seen any really good flow besides this now that I said that. So these look like rolls to me. Or not. This is why I avoid multi-leg stuff. And I'll pop it in the option profit calculator just to kind of see. But it's just so messy. Messy, messy, messy. Tidewise. Let's take a peek at some of our net premiums. Let's look at NVIDIA. Pop this back to net premium. NVIDIA is interesting to me here because, I mean, got a lot of net call premium here on the ask side. Net put premium here was bid side. Now we little pop here towards the end of the day, and that put volume's up. That's interesting to me. Like, this is mixed here. I want to see if I can find one that's not so mixed. Let's look at Tesla. And Tesla, not that. I mean, at open, that was kind of mixed there. Call premium's kind of picking up here. NVIDIA's dropping. That put premium fell off, and that call volume. That's something interesting to watch. How do we look at it compared to the last 7 days? Oh, pretty flat. Well, this is kind of interesting to look back here. So on the 14th, big spike, big spike. We haven't seen a massive move up yet. That looks kind of good premium-wise. Meta. And I know we had Meta calls that came in yesterday. So this one's a little easier to read here. That net call premium is pretty much running up here. That net put premium's dropping, call volume's up. That looks good. Let's just kind of look at the last 7 days. Yeah, not a lot of ask side net put premium, so spike, and we haven't really seen a big pop after that. So another interesting one, and I know we had, come back in here and look. Whoops, not option screener. We had the Meta from yesterday, and these gapped up actually. So 580 looks like they hit 750 today for a high. Kind of chopping about 650, so still up. 28 days on those. Let's go back and look at a couple other. Palantir, that thing's up like 9% today. So this is this is something I would have caught it open if you're watching net premiums. That net call premium's up. So this is something that I like to look at. Like if you're scalping intraday, you see that how Palantir kind of dropped here a little bit, but that net call premium stayed up and you didn't see a really big spike in that net put premium. To me, that tells me that could just be some people taking profits. People aren't really dumping their calls. And then you see that net call premium continuing to move up here. So if you see that net call premium not making a huge move and the stock might be dropping a little bit, could be watching for a small little bounce here, and if that premium's not popping either. But yeah, I mean, like this is a clear one here. Great call volume, net call premium on the ask side, net put premium on the bid side. How do we look the last 7 days? And you can find swing trades and good setups this way too as well, just because you can kind of see what's been going on in the option market. Well, you can see we had that big spike in the net put premium. Obviously, Palantir fell. Just kind of starting to see some net call premium here now. So kind of see maybe over the next couple days what happens. Okay, let's take a peek at these ERJs. 34 days doesn't overlap earnings. See how that volume, because there's already some volume on it. So actually, I want to go back here and look. So to me, can't 100% no. So like this is something I'd avoid. We're looking at 400 contracts there, 600 contracts there. We'll say 1,000 just to make it easy. About 1,100 here. This could be kind of part of it. We'll just say they match. So this could be somebody exiting at the ask. We don't know until Monday when that open interest updates. So this is kind of why I pass on something like this. And even if we look at the flow, see that IV, how it starts to kind of drop there as it comes in. So could be, you can sell it at the ask. There's nobody that says you can't, especially on something that's up 3% on the day. It's easy to get people to buy at the ask. You can sell at the ask. And the biggest thing with like ask and bid side is kind of you're thinking, okay, well, you're asking for that specific contract price. You want to buy it, you'll do what it takes to buy it. Now, when you're selling contracts, you're going to take the bid, your best bid. So that's why when you see bid side stuff, and just because it's bid side too doesn't mean it's a sell, because you can just have an open order, and then if that stock drops a little bit, it gets filled at the bid. So just kind of some 2 cents there. Yep, you are correct. That's kind of why JT. That's why I'm like, you gotta look at the raw flow too, just to kind of see that IV, kind of see what's going on with the stock. Like if something's up 10% on the day and there's ask side flow coming in, I'm probably not going to post that or take that, just because there's people that you're just hitting the ask, the stock's up 10%, you think the stock's going to keep going to the moon. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. It's getting close here to 2:30. Let me pop in the market tide. Where'd my market tide go? And JT, you don't get to be in charge this week since I don't have anybody coming for the driveway this time. Dude, when he came last week, I was like, are you kidding me? Dude talked for 45 minutes. I know him, but it's like, man, I told him, like, yeah, I got to get back inside in about 10 minutes. 55 minutes later, 45 minutes later, I look at the clock. I'm like, cool, market closed. Hopefully JT didn't burn the thing down. Oh, yeah, I know. I was, like, sitting here. I'm, like, looking at my watch. Like, I'll kind of give, like, a subtle hint. I'm like, oh, looking at my watch. Looks like it's time to kind of go in. And I'm happy I, paused the recording, because it would have been a 45 minutes of recording, and then I would have had to go in and edit and all that fun stuff. And I don't edit my videos. I am not a video creator. I pop that screen record on and go. Who's at my house? Oh, camera went off, so there I am. I'm jinxing it again. Who's here? Oh, Amazon. The ice cream man's here. What do you know? My favorite people, the Amazon people.
Okay, that's it.
Let's see. What do you think we're going to do? Rally into the end of the day? Let's see. We're just going to kind of chop in. We got pretty good volume today. When we were up about 1.5% or so, I was kind of like, I looked at the volume. We were only at like 15 million. And I was like, I got to see how strong that volume day is. And you can see, hoping it's not a dead cat bounce, but I mean, those last couple days were some heavy volume, and now we're about half, little under half of that volume. So I'm kind of curious how we finish on the day. Hoping it's not one of those days where we just dump into close. Would be nice to finish a week on a good note for once. Alright, let's hop back over here. Yeah, just a lot of multi-leg junk today. And Visco, I didn't post those because we already had that, and that's kind of, again, another one that's up 4%. Plus our Viscos that came in were a lot better here. Let me pull that up for you, CGC. 1 second. see, Alta 321. 321, 367, 5. Interesting on the day. I wonder. I'd check this one at open on Monday just to kind of treat it as a learning one, because you got 200 contracts, another 202 there. 90. I wonder if they sold at 140 there. I don't know if they're still in. You'll have to double check that one, because that's about the same size they could be out at the ask. Especially on a weekly that expires next Friday. Would double check that open interest. Now, if 500 some contracts carry over, that's a good sign, but I'm going to make an educated guess. They're probably not going to. It looks like it was maybe a day scalp here. Otherwise, they sized into the position and averaged up. So, but interesting, something like that you can't 100% tell until that open interest updates in the morning on Monday. And I heard a ding here somewhere. But yeah, that's a nice move on the day. 90, they hit about 460 there. I'm happy because I may have scalped those UALs up yesterday. I mean, geez. Nice move there, 545 up to 685 today. See how are these doing? Flat. And why did I hit the bid on that one? I gotta go back and change that quick. 1 second. Let's see. Let me check that out for you, WS. 1 second here. Let's take a peek. Tech. And I know you saw those come in too. I saw those on the flow a little bit earlier, but I believe I was at lunch. So the 417.44 call right here. So 144 on those. Just want to see that recent volume. So 2,000 there. No multi-leg, so 144. They ran to 167. Looks like they're up at 156 right now, but so 5508 here. Yeah, that IV stays up here at the ask. I mean, the flow looks like a buy to me there. 34 doesn't overlap earnings. Yeah, that flow looks good to me there. 5% out of the money in 34 days. Yeah, flow looks good there to me. I just heard another ding. Let's take a peek. And I just got to grab this phone call quick. Give me 30 seconds, everyone. All right, we're back. It was just a scam. I'm waiting for this call, and nope, it was just a scam. So back to our regular scheduled program. Let's look at these ASTSs that just came in. 14 days, no earnings. So some ask side hits there, no multi-leg. Just want to look at that recent volume. Okay, I'd probably pass on that just because you got that other candle there. Or I would, yeah, to me probably looks like they might be cutting those maybe 554, 150. Would have to double check that one on Monday. Oh, I got an update for you. I got a great update for you, JT. I'll tell you guys a little bit later tonight. I'll tell you guys a little. I got a great update on that one. As I'll tell you, I have a couple friends who are lawyers that I'll go to if I have advice or if I need advice, and they'll just kind of give me some freestyle. I mean, I've known them since I'm a baby, pretty much, and I'll tell you, something happened today. Something happened today with that. um, but yeah, no, I'll give a little insight into it. I reached out via email to him too, and yeah, I kind of got that wasn't me, that was blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, okay, like reach out to WAP, deal with them. But must have got scared because I had my one of my friends that were a lawyer kind of sent him a nice little email, and he got back pretty quick after that. So I don't think he'll be back, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll just tell you, when people make a payment through WAP, it provides their address, so I can see your address, and I'll tell you, my friends that are lawyers, they're yeah, that's it wasn't that big of a deal, simulation. I was just like, how are you gonna be in here every day and try to do something like that? But no, I think it's taken care of. I shouldn't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, well, and that's the dumb thing too. Like with WAP, they're like, if it's under $100, they like don't do anything. I'm like, well, what? Yeah, he's one that would always call me Big Brother. I don't know why he'd always call me that. I just went with it. I'm just like, yeah, cool. I don't care. Yeah, I know, and it's weird because he was in here every single day, and I mean he participated every day, and then to just like go. But I remember this hit was in the back of my head too. I remember he was like, yeah, I send all this money to these girls on TikTok and stuff, and my wife doesn't know. I was like, dude, his wife probably thought sending me money or something, but I don't know. I laughed at it a little bit. But yeah, I really interesting in outcome on that one. I kind of like JT's thing where he was like, he probably blew his account on earnings. Yeah, I don't know, but he'd trade a lot of earnings, and for some reason he'd always be on the right side of earnings somehow. But I mean, because all he'd ask for is usually earnings play somehow. Oh, who mentioned me? Where are we at in the main chat? Let's see. Dan. Yeah, I know, and that's a funny thing too, Dan, because I know you're in here. Dude had over 1,600 messages in here, and I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm guessing his wife maybe had something to do with it, but I don't know. Because he's like, yeah, I send money to all these people on TikTok and stuff. I'm like, dude, you're married. IW inputs. I bet these multi-leg. Oh, well, would say no anyways. 12,000, about 12,000. Yeah, no. Oh man, I for some reason I don't know why, but I feel like he's gonna be back. Which I mean is fine, like if you do that, but like I will be keeping a very strong eye on you. And now we actually have an incident report, so you probably don't want to do anything else because now like yeah, there's an actual legal incident report, so you probably don't want to mess around anymore. Let's see. These EWTXs. Too big of a bid ask there. Funny thing is, I'm actually an only child 3 steps. I know. I see, like simulation. Like I don't know. I'm a really like patient and like nice person. I think so. Like I'm like I'd still probably let him back in. Like, but it's like you're gonna have to really be watched, and if you try anything, that's not gonna end up good because now there's a report and stuff. CJC. Yeah, that's a funny thing. I wonder. Yeah, no, yeah, it's not your direct address. It's just your billing address. So I mean, if you have a different address than your billing address, I can't find you. But I know I don't think Focus is in here right now, but he was like, I expect my Stock Hub Christmas card this year. That I can't even imagine what people would do if just a random Christmas card showed up. That would be just they'd be like, police. Look at that, we killed 10 minutes there, and I think the market's dropping a little bit. Nope, just chopping. Man, boring end to the week. The hell? I was like, what's outside? Somebody's like chopping wood outside. I think, or it's wood. I don't know. There's a lot of woodpeckers around here, and they're like really bad in this neighborhood. And I'm like, shut up! I can't pay attention. I don't think that was a woodpecker. Well, and I got the windows open too, because Zigford can attest to this one. It's like 72 here right now, and it's just perfect. It's about to storm tonight too. It's cloudy here too. It's starting to cloud up. I gotta go outside and do yard work here after too. Yeah, let's see it. I know AMD's been like a really like rough stock to trade lately. It just seems like it's up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh, well, never mind then, Zigford. Never mind. Who? Oh, somebody came out on the deck. Or the neighbors. Are these kids still in school? It's like 2:40. Like, they should still be in school. I think it's just going to be a BS 15 minutes now. It's going to be a BS and mess around 15 minutes. Just want to see what happens here. Well, you didn't break the top of the head there, simulation. Did break that neckline though. But that did look like a really nice head and shoulders there. Well, I know Dan was like gap down next week, so Dan, you might be calling it right there. There's your small little head and shoulders on the 5-minute. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we can take a peek at AMD. I need to do something. I feel useless right now just sitting here talking about John. Let's see. Let's look at AMD. Let's see. Multi-leg. Cool. I got you on Apple here in a second. Let me just run through AMD here. Dan said gap down next week. Well, it's FOMC week and it's triple witching to quad witching, whatever you want to call it. Oh shit, I want to get out of here. I'm going to say AMD kind of looked mixed there to me, but yeah, a lot of multi-leg stuff on AMD. I'm going to tell you AMD is mixed just so I can quick check Apple for 3 steps. Apple, let's see. Multi-leg there. Call there, 98 days out. Put there, 14 days. Looking mixed here too. Bid calls. Oh, why am I at the 50? Let's see. Call. Yeah, I'm gonna probably say Apple's kind of mixed there for you. 3 steps. I know the chart should be seeing a bounce here shortly though, because we're pretty big spot on the weekly. When you're looking at your channel, you're kind of coming off the bottom of your channel. That was a nasty drop out of that demand zone though. So you're in this demand zone now. Let's take a peek. So this would be your next spot. I know we talked about this on one of the lives. I was like, this is your demand here, but I swear I said it. I think it might be the one that's recorded from Monday or Tuesday where I was like, I'd like to see it come down to that bottom of the channel there, and you're oversold now too. I mean, you're looking for a bounce here. I just didn't see any flow to support that. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's scared money. I wouldn't want to swing anything over the weekend right now. I'm pretty much all cash right now. I have a couple long spy call. Yeah, I know what you meant. I was just trying to be nice about it. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much going on over the weekend. There's so many headlines. Obviously, there can be a lot of headlines over the weekend. Different new tariff talk. Oh, okay. Well, then you're just too scared. 3 steps. But no, I mean, you're coming to a good spot. I know we talked about it in the live stream. I'm pretty sure it's from the Monday one when we talked about it, or it was last Friday when we did the live. I know we charted that out. But yeah, I mean, some long Apple calls could be good here, but you got earnings coming up in 41 days, so try not to swing over earnings. That's always my big thing. Let's take a peek what's going on here. Last 13 minutes of the day. XLVs are mid. We're gonna finish. Good volume today. Everything pretty much finishing decent today. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't touch on the IV crush, yeah. Alright, so MRVL, so these are the Marvel ones, not MicroStrategy like last time. Let's take a peek here. 56 weeklies, 74 call. This is something I'd look to get in on Monday. Oh, it looks like it's going to shoot into the end of the day. 61.43, yeah. Probably a buy there. Could be looking for an end of the day rally. Wouldn't post it. I don't want anybody swinging that over the weekend. You're going to get crushed theta-wise. Close that out. Yeah, pretty quiet flow day. We'll see if anything comes in as we get a little closer to close here. And here we go, EW. Let's see. No earnings. Come on, update, baby. There we go. It's a mid on here. So I don't like that net put and net call kind of being up. Gonna pass on that with that IV drop there and that spot drop too. It's a no there. Door. I have all the windows open, trying to air out the house and get the stench of winter out of here. And it's windy out, and I just hear all the doors kind of moving around. That wind's picking up now. Oh, if anybody wants to come over and do some yard work for me, though, feel free. Feel free. I will supply beer for anybody. Let's see. Multi-leg. I don't even really have that much yard work to do, man. I just gotta pick up some winter junk. Nike puts. All right, here we go. This one looks like a decent one. Oh, earnings in 6 days. Oh, earnings flow. Perfect. I was like, that looks kind of familiar because I knew there were earnings next week. Let's see. So earnings flow, obviously a gamble, but let's take a peek. Of course, we can't diagnose it because it's just a big block trade, but puts on Nike for earnings, it looks like. Net call premiums up, good, or net put premiums up, sorry, and put volumes up. Decent volume. Why is that door opening? Probably about to get robbed. Got all the windows open. The girlfriend's upstairs taking a nap, and I'm downstairs in the nice little cubby basement. Just somebody's breaking in through the window. Yeah. Hopefully they're breaking in to go do yard work. We're going to finish near high of the day. Do we make a new high of the day into close? We might. Let's take a peek. It's nice how fast the market can recover on times like this. This is when volatility really pays, though. There we go. New high of the day. There we go. Let's see. So Zigford, I can. It's kind of a little more. It'd probably take me a little bit to explain that. I can get you something a little bit after hours here. But essentially, when you're looking at like the IV increasing, you're there. So like, we'll use an ask side call as an example. When that IV's increasing, you're thinking, okay, like let's say the spot's increasing and the IV's increasing. So somebody's that fills ascending, so they're looking for a move, so that implied volatility is kind of just telling you that, okay, well, maybe there's going to be some volatility on that stock. So that stock could be seeing a movement. So that's kind of where they talk about like that. They're buying, so you're buying at the ask. You're asking for whatever that contract price is because that implied volatility on that stock is increasing. So that's kind of why, like around earnings and all that, you see like Tesla, Nvidia, all those IVs pop because there's a bigger expected move on that stock at that time. So that's kind of where that idea comes from about that IV increasing. Like, okay, people are buying that contract because they are sorry, I got a tweet there that I was reading at the same time. They're looking for that move. They're expecting a move. They're buying those contracts at the ask. So now, like the bid side, when the IV is decreasing, usually when you sell something, you're taking the best bid. So you see that IV decreasing, it kind of can be like, okay, well, maybe that stock's going to calm down now. You're going to not see a big move anymore. So kind of something like that. Hopefully that kind of answers your question. Perfect. Look at that. New high of the day. There we go into close. Nice strong close. Just what we needed. Really good strong close. Wow. Let's see what came in. Yeah, well, let's go look at the gamma here quick. Just kind of finish things up here. Let's see. I mean, kind of looking at that. I mean, yeah, it's still negative, still pretty negative. That intraday, though. This is kind of why I always say, gotta kind of watch that total volume intraday. I mean, that thing was spiking into close here. And then kind of just looking at that exposure. I mean, all that total volume there. Mostly to the ask side now. So yeah, this changes second to second intraday. So that daily, it just kind of gives you kind of an overview of the day, or kind of what could be coming. So like that Jern flow that we were looking at, like that IV was, or not the IV, the daily gamma was pretty spiked there. So something to like that's kind of maybe telling, because that gamma's spiked and we haven't really seen a big move. So I mean, like, it's a data point. You got to kind of use multiple of them. This is interesting. The FSLRs. Don't want to swing those over the weekend. How are we finishing? Good finish there. But yeah, simulation. Yeah, just a data point there. Like, it's more like the daily gamma. I'm kind of thinking of it more as a kind of helps you catch daily setup. So like now Monday, I would probably assume we're going to see a smaller improvement to the upside. Geez, we're going to finish it. What are we going to finish at? Nice way to end the week. Three minutes. Imagine if we went red. That would be just a buzzkill. Yeah, nice little finish to the week, though. Nice finish. I want to quick touch it and look at the little weekly ones. So I'm guessing these were probably, 52. I mean, those moved a little bit intraday. Then the VNets, 33. I mean, down a little bit. Probably looked for that rally at the end of the day. All right, everyone. Probably going to hop off now. I'm probably not going to see much for the last 2 minutes. So this is recorded for anybody that missed the beginning to the full thing. If you want to replay it, it's about an hour and a half. Otherwise, everybody have a great weekend. And yeah, we'll see everybody Monday morning. Have a great weekend, everyone.